dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It was pretty dreary for the most part.
Yeah, it was a pretty nasty weekend, and it's only flowed over into this Monday morning, so that should make getting out the door a lot easier today. But Brandon's going to come in and keep us in the loop on what to expect this week as far as weather, and we're kind of really back onto that roller coaster that we're so familiar with, right, Brandon?
Exactly, and we've had some colder air come in. We're going to see some warmer air later on, but this morning the big story is the fog. Let's go to the camera network as we head out the door here at 6 o'clock. You can see lots of fog here in Hazard outside the WYMT studios, so just give yourself plenty of time to get where you're going. Overlooking Whitesburg, not so much in the way of fog just yet, but I do see it off in the distance, but the wet roads down that way this morning. You can see raindrops there on the lens of the camera, and here's the big issue, fog. As we head out the doors, we've mentioned less than a mile in Jackson and Hazard of visibility, 3 miles in Pikeville, 2 in London, 3 also in Somerset, 4 in Williamsburg and Monticello, and 3 up in Moorhead. Remember, anything less than 5, very limited visibility. Line pinpoint Doppler radar. Some blue out there still showing up, some specks of blue, but some wet roads overnight. Could be a little bit frosty because temperatures are right below freezing or right at freezing. Some spots just above freezing, but again, a slick spot or two possible, so just be careful. A little extra on the coffee meter, so grab a big cup and head on out the door. Out the door forecast features dreary conditions. As we mentioned, that's going to be the word of the day, is dreary. But we're going to see chances for flurries turning into drizzle as we head deeper in the morning, but cloudy skies only allow us to get to about 35 later this afternoon. I'll have the rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
All right. Thank you, Brandon. Well, we begin this morning with a sad story out of Clay County, West Virginia.
It's a very sad story, Cassidy. 4 foster children were killed in a house fire Saturday night. We do not know the children's names at this time. Authorities say they were a 6-month-old boy, and 3 girls ages 3, 4, and 8. Thankfully, 2 adults and 2 children were able to escape the fire. We do not know how it started, but firefighters do not think it was intentional nor suspicious. The fire is still under investigation.
And also in West Virginia, deputies say a body was found in Logan County Sunday morning. It was discovered in the Big Creek area of West Virginia. It has been sent to the medical examiner's office. Officials say that they have identified the body, but a name has not been released at this time. We will, of course, continue to update this story on WYMT.com and on air when we have more details.
Well, yesterday marked exactly 1 week since 6 people were killed in a crash. The Abbas family was heading home to Michigan after a Florida vacation when police say 41-year-old Joey Bailey of Georgetown was driving the wrong way on I-75 when he crashed head-on with their car. Everyone died in that crash. As Emily Arroyo reports, they have all been laid to rest, but the memorials continue.
It was just a week ago that news of the tragedy brought a stunned Michigan community together. Loved ones filled this room of an Islamic center up there once again Sunday night. But the loss is just as raw.
How can you provide comfort and how can you fill the void?
Questions that many are still grappling with a week after a beloved family was killed on I-75 in Lexington as they were traveling home from vacation. Attorney and real estate agent Assam Abbas, OBGYN Dr. Rima Abbas, his wife, and all 3 of their children, Ali, Isabella, and Giselle. Officials believe this Georgetown man was intoxicated as he drove the wrong way down the interstate before hitting and killing the Abbases and himself. As active members of their Michigan community, the loss hit hard, and many spent the week in shock.
Your love and outpouring of sympathy has been so tremendous and unprecedented. Over 5,000 mourners have come to pay their respects, and probably another 2,000 here today.
This vigil comes after a week of memorials, funerals, and final goodbyes, but loved ones know the heartache is far from over.
When parents and siblings are in solitude, the sounds of weeping from dawn into the late hours of the day. And that feeling of emptiness does not go away. And then realizing that they must face it each and every day.
In Lexington, I'm Emily Arroyo, WKYT.
Now, relatives of the Abbas family are requesting donations to Mothers Against Drunk Drivers in their honor. Officials are still waiting on toxicology results to make an official ruling on if Joey Bailey was driving under the influence. In other news this morning, police say an inmate is back in custody after he escaped during a work release. Kentucky State Police say John Parrott walked away during a work release detail in Morgan County. He was arrested early yesterday morning in West Liberty. Parrott is now being held in the Rowan County Detention Center. He's facing 2 counts of burglary, 1 count of escape, and 1 count of being a persistent felony offender.
Well, Laurel County Police arrested a man after they say a baby was injured during a domestic violence dispute. Police arrested Truman Abucon Saturday evening just after 6. During their investigation, deputies learned that Abucon allegedly grabbed a woman by the hair and was attempting to throw her out the front door of the house. Police say he also grabbed the woman by the hair and slung her, causing her to drop a baby to the floor. Deputies say the baby's head had a visible bump and swelling. Abucon faces 2 counts of assault.
Search and rescue crews had to save a man from Daniel Boone National Forest when the worst happened. Adam Berniston talked with officials about what went down and how you can stay safe on trails this time of year.
It's something hikers never expect to happen, to get lost or injured while out on a trail. Well, Saturday afternoon, Powell and Wolfe County Search and Rescue teamed up to rescue a hiker on Martins Fork Trail after he hurt his knee and couldn't make it out on his own.
He stayed pretty dry. He was under the ledge. And of course, it's cold, but they found him immediately, so he wasn't that far in, thank goodness. He was smiling, they said, and really, when he came down, he was fine.
Lisa Johnson tells me that one of the most dangerous aspects to hiking during this time of year is the fact that all the leaves on the trail make it especially slick, even in hiking shoes. And on top of that, you also have to deal with the cold weather.
Trees are falling. Coming here today on one of the back roads, we had a rock slide. So there's a lot of elements out there you have to look for when you're out hiking. And I mean, you can have the best of shoes on, be the best hiker. Doesn't mean you're not going to fall.
Lisa also advises hikers stay at least a body's length away from any edges, and even before you go hiking, you should always pack essentials such as a blanket, snacks, and water in case you get hurt or lost.
A lot of people said, well, I didn't expect this to happen. No one expects it to happen, but it does. So just be ready.
In Powell County, meteorologist Adam Berniston, WKYT.
Now this month, the Powell County Search and Rescue Team are celebrating their 6th anniversary of saving hikers and others.
Well, officials say nobody was injured when a plane slid off the taxiway at Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport yesterday morning. The Delta flight had just landed after arriving from Los Angeles. According to a tweet from the airport's official Twitter account, the plane, quote, left the pavement of taxiway on its way to the terminal. All 126 passengers and crew on board the aircraft made it to the terminal safely. And divers have found the cockpit voice recorder, otherwise known as the CVR, from the Lion Air flight which crashed off Indonesia in October. That's according to a statement by a Navy spokesman. Divers had already found the flight data recorder on November 1st. It showed the pilots had fought to override a safety system which kept pulling the plane's nose down. But the CVR is needed to reveal what the pilots were saying and why the safety feature was never turned off. All 189 people on board that flight were killed.
Well, yesterday morning, Kentucky 1428 in Floyd County was closed for a few hours while crews worked to clean up a mudslide. Officials say their trucks were filled with salt and crews needed to dump it before they could even begin to work on the slide. But once they got started, employees worked quickly to clean it up. Highway Superintendent Randy Hall says it could have taken much longer to clean. This is the exact same location of the mudslide that occurred on January 5th. Well, and that is not the only location that saw mudslides this weekend.
That's right. Road crews in Pike County saw a very similar scene. A mudslide blocked all lanes of traffic on Town Mountain Road in Pikeville. And to make it worse, once the road was cleaned up, crews were called back out to the exact same spot. The side of the mountain had slipped off into the road again. Jamie Fleming with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says drivers need to slow down and pay more attention in cleanup areas.
Everybody sees those yellow lights, slow down a little bit, take a little extra time, because don't want to see nobody get hurt.
Crews worked to clear the road once more, and it reopened around 1:30 yesterday afternoon.
A Lexington mom was arrested yesterday after police say she drove drunk to teach her son a lesson. Officers say Sunana Jerome told them at one point she drove 150 miles per hour. Police say her son told them he tried to get out of the car multiple times, but could not because the door was locked. She is facing a charge of endangering the welfare of a minor and driving under the influence.
Well, a man in Floyd County bikes more than 2 hours just to watch a group of men work near the road. It's a really cool story. But they say recently someone stole his bike. But rain, sleet, snow or shine, the man still showed up every day, even after his bike was stolen. So the workers moved to chip in and buy their friend a new set of wheels. Jonathan Sawyer says this proves a little bit of kindness can go a long way.
Sometimes it's the little things that can make people so happy. And I just want to, everybody to know the peace and the joy that it brought this kid.
And sometimes it's the little things indeed. The men who chipped in to buy the bike say they did not do it to receive praise. They say that all the glory goes to God, and they just simply did what the Bible tells them to do. And congratulations are in order for the North Laurel Middle School 6th grade boys basketball team. This weekend they won first place at the state tournament in Lexington. In honor of their win, the Sheriff's Department, London City Police, East Bernstadt Fire Department, the Laurel County Fire Department, and London Laurel Rescue Squad escorted the team back into Laurel County and through downtown London. Pretty cool. Well, still to come on on Mountain News this morning, following a Hail Mary effort, Sears will soon learn if there is life after bankruptcy.
And back to sports, where the 14th Region All-A has a champion on the boys and girls side. We'll bring you highlights.
Some slick spots and fog will greet you as you hit the roads this morning, so be careful. I'll break down your Monday hour by hour in about 2 minutes.